Heartbroken, appreciate you jumping in. Shoot, this might be the segment for you. You the first one. I'm talking on all things that you might want to listen to. Hope I can help you out. Sean, I appreciate you jumping in, folks. I'm getting warmed up. We're going to let a few more folks jump on in the room real quick. Indigo Star, appreciate you jumping in. We're going to let some folks come on in right quick. It's going to be a good one. I thought about this one yesterday. We're going to let some folks get in the room right quick. David, I appreciate you jumping in. We're going to let some folks get in the room. Saker, appreciate you jumping in. I hope I said it right. Saker. I hope I said that right. Stephanie, I appreciate you jumping in. We're going to let some folks get in the room right quick before I start running. I'm talking on a good one today. I think this one might hit some folks in the solar plexus. I hope it do. I hope it do. Robert, is that Robert? Robert Elder, I appreciate you jumping in. We're going to let some folks get in the room real quick before I start running. Joy, I appreciate you. Mike, Dinesh, Dinesh, User, I appreciate y'all jumping in. All right, folks, let me go and get started. My name is Leo. I'm a certified life coach, certified transformation coach. I help people heal who are in and trying to get out of the narcissist relationship. And I help the narcissist heal. Yes, I do, folks. I used to be a narcissist, and I'm still healing narcissist tendencies. All right, folks, let's do some admin work real quick. This is for the TikTok police because the boys always on my back. Folks, take what you need, put in your pocket. The rest, throw it away. Everything I'm talking about is purely entertainment. If you are going through any kind of mental abuse or physical abuse, folks, go get yourself a professional. Call them laws, not call the police. Get yourself a professional. Go get yourself a therapist. Go get yourself a clinician. I am a life coach and I am a transformation coach. I help people heal holistically. All right, holistically, folks. So, folks, today I'm going to talk on something that we all hold a little bit, and that's called that pain. Hey, Blackheart, I appreciate you jumping in. Michael, Daryl, Todd, I appreciate y'all jumping in. Andre, Laura, I appreciate y'all jumping in Chicago. Folks, why can't we push past the pain? That's the question. Why can't we push past the pain of coming out of that narcissist relationship? That's the question. Now, folks, share this live, man. Just go ahead and share the live and follow me for more, folks. Like it, love it, whatever you got to do. Everything going to be transparent. I'm going to use a lot of examples. I'm going to use me as transparency. Folks, I am still healing from narcissist tendencies. All right? So for those of you who think a narcissist cannot change, look in my eyes. Yes, we can. It's all about a choice. Period, point blank. Ty Moon, I appreciate you. I hope I said that right. It's Michael Dots. I appreciate you. Jesse, XL rated. All of y'all, appreciate y'all jumping in. But why can't we push past the pain? Why is it we cannot push past the pain of coming out of that relationship? And yes, I'm going to cover some topics here on why we can't push past the pain. Some of us hold on to that pain way longer than we need to. We'll sit up there and say we good and we over it, but technically we're not over it because something will trigger you down the line by somebody and it's going to remind you that person, you are not over that person. You are still holding something within you. And at the end of the day, I'm always saying one thing, you need to go back and start the healing process. We will always go jump from relationship to relationship, and all a relationship doing is throwing dirt right over the wound. You just keep throwing dirt right over the wound. You can go from bed to bed to bed to bed, and you ain't did nothing. And as I always say, you ain't nothing but a walking pandemic of spreading your traumas throughout. Period, point blank. But the question of the day is, why can't you push past the pain? Why can't you push past that pain of that narcissistic relationship? And folks, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the reason why you had to go through that pain. And it's an ugly pain. Some of us, and I'm not going to say me, folks, because I was one of the worst of the worst. I was a dirty, rotten scoundrel. I will not lie, and I'm saying it right here. You can write it down. Leo said he was a dirty, rotten scoundrel. I don't hide that. Yes, I had to have multiple partners. I was driven by the sex. I had to have sex, and I didn't care what kind of relationship I was in. I was going to find multiple women, give them the lies, give them everything to have sex with them. That's who you talking to right now. Most folks might say, well, shoot, you still a narc. No, folks, believe you me. I'm still healing from a lot of that, but I don't do that. I can promise you that. And I don't really need to justify myself, folks, because if you look at my videos, you see what I'm talking about. Yes, I've been on the healing journey since January 2022 when I came out of my last marriage, folks. Yes, I did the paperwork. She left the marriage, and I would never blame any woman for walking away from me during that time period. I don't blame no one walking away from me right now. Not at all. In my last marriage, a queen, a beautiful woman. All women I've ever dealt with, straight queens, straight beautiful women. I would never have nothing bad to say about them ever in life. And if they call me today, Leo, I need your help, I am there to help. That's what I do. I help people. But folks, I'm here to tell you, why can't we push past the pain? Why are you pushing such a strong narrative? I got to push a strong narrative, Cliff Farm Cop. I got to push a strong narrative. I have to. Why would anybody want to listen to somebody who have not walked that walk and talked that talk? Folks, let's put it out there on the table. You can ask me anything. I'm going to answer it. If you ask me something crazy, I might not answer it. Folks, I'm asking y'all a question. Why can't we push past the pain? Why not? Let me ask y'all this question. You'll sit here and we'll get on social media and not know the person you're dealing with. You will get there and you go see that clinician and that doctor and you don't know who you're talking to. All you see is a title. And most of y'all fall in love with a title. And I'm not trying to, I was the same way, folks. But if you don't know the person you're dealing with, then why are you dealing with them? We will sleep with a total stranger and not know everything about them. And that's why we're here right now. Do we know about narcissism? No, we only know what social media tells us. How many of us go look up narcissism? We'll go look it up, but all you're going to hear is all the negatives. Has anybody looked up the spiritual meaning of narcissism? No. 99.9% of us don't look up the spiritual meaning of narcissism or why you got the narcissist in your life. 99.9% of us cannot even push past the pain. Some of us are still harboring that anger from that relationship that destroyed you. But that destruction was supposed to happen. We don't look at it that way. We'll never look at it that way. We'll always look at it as, man, I wasted my time. They betrayed me. They did this, did that. But why? Why did it happen? Why did it happen? See, we don't look at the whole spiritual meaning of it. God meaning, universe, source energy. We don't look at those meanings. We only see what we see right off the cuff. 99.9% of us have never been taught to forgive in the household. 99.9% of anyone born in this lifetime was not born a narcissist, was not born a crook, was not born a racist. You learned it in the household. So I'm asking that question right now. Why can't we push past the pain? And it's not easy pushing past the pain. We can sit up here all day long and talk about boundaries and barriers all day. But we all make that choice to be with that person. Nobody likes that word choice. That is my favorite word, choice. When I had to learn that I could not point the finger outside of me, that I had a choice. I have a choice to be here right now today, talking to y'all right now, giving you what I know. Period point. We all got a choice. Don't sit there and say we don't have a choice when you go to work. You got a choice if you want to go in there or not. You got a choice if you want to keep a house. There's choices to everything we do in life, so you have a choice. Why are we not pushing past the pain? Folks, for those who don't know, my name is Leo. I am a certified life coach, certified transformation coach. I help people heal who are in and trying to leave that narcissistic relationship, and I help the narcissist heal. Come on, folks. If it walk like a duck and it quack like a duck, it must be a duck. So let's ask that question. Why can't we push past the pain of the previous relationship? And some of you hold the pain way longer than need be. And I got a story on that one. So why can't we push past it? Why do we feel we are so betrayed from that person that we can't ever just forgive them and just walk off with it? And it's hard. We're not taught that in the household. How many of y'all was taught to forgive in your household? But how many of you are taught that revenge is best served cold? Come on, I know I'm not lying. I know I'm not the only one that heard that. Come on now. Look, share this live, folks. Share this live, and follow me. Y'all know I'm very transparent when I talk about this. Even if you ask me to talk on a subject, I'm going to talk on a subject, but we don't talk about why we still holding the pain. Why your avatar, this body, is holding so much trauma. Because you won't let it go. That's your choice. That's your choice to keep that pain in your body. That's your pain to not forgive. But 99.9% of us are not taught forgiveness in the household. The pain is my only last connection to her. Clay. You know what, Clay? That is the best answer I've ever seen since I've been here. Since I've been doing this. And Clay, I'm going to tell you, I had a dream. Clay, this is for you. I had a dream. And if you still, I had a dream. And in that dream of my ex-wife, I was crying because I want her back and she didn't want me back. And in that dream, and I knew I was in a dream, I started chasing to have sex with multiple women. I'm saying it right here. And in that dream, these multiple women knew I was up to no good. And I was having sex with these women. Then all of a sudden, this spiritual figure, primordial mother, whatever it was, came in on the surfboard and said, you need to let her go. And I cried and said, I'm too scared to let her go. So Clay, for you, if you still there, you have to let her go. Because what's better for you is on the other side. And that's most of us, folks. The pain keeps us connected to that other person. You don't know that your blessings, your gift, that better person is on the other side of that. But you hold on to it. And every time you go jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, you carry that exact same pain with you. You carrying it. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to get triggered. Why is it going to get triggered? God, universe, source, energy, whoever you give reverence to is going to have that trigger so that you can finally realize that you need to tap in and start the healing process. That's what we don't do. We don't sit there and say, okay, I want to start learning how to love myself. Folks, if you ever want to get away from a narcissist, start thinking about you. Everything that you gave that narcissist, because it's going to be a cycle with a narcissist. It is a cycle. Pay attention. Look, I'm going to give you a gem. I'm going to give you a gem from somebody who my only thing in life was to have sex with women. I'm going to love bomb you as much as I can. I'm going to do it. You make me mad somewhere down the line, yeah, you're going to get ghosted. You're going to get that. I want you to feel that ignorance and that pain or whatever it was you stood up to. I want you to feel that. Folks, hurt people hurt people. So why do you have to stay hurt? You see what I'm saying? And it's a cycle. So all you got to do is folks, I don't care who tells you outside of you, leave that person, leave that person, leave that person. You're not going to leave that person until you downright get ready to leave. When your soul say enough is enough. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Folks, that's what happened to me in January 2022. I came out of my marriage. I said, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going back out in the streets. I don't have nothing to do with them streets. Have I slept with women since then? I slept with 2 women since then. 2. And anybody that knew me back in the day, they say 2. Shoot. Why not say 200? That's what that boy was all about, 2,000. Folks, I'm not trying to get the data boy points. Don't congratulate me. I'm a man sitting up here telling you, folks, we need to learn to push past the pain. The pain keeps us connected. Become vulnerable to self. That's the thing. We want to be hard all day long. But we don't know how to become vulnerable to self, to sit down and say, you know what? I need to let this go. I'm done. You can't shower nothing over pain. I promise you, you can keep putting dirt on it. Something's going to keep it coming on up. Something's going to keep on coming on up if you don't go to the root of it. Just like that crabgrass. You don't get at the root, it's growing. It's going to grow again. It's just a matter of time. Those you don't know me, my name is Leo, certified life coach, certified transformation coach. I help people heal who are in and trying to leave the narcissistic relationship, and I help the narcissist heal. But why is it we can't push past the pain? Folks, share this live. Share this live. Share this live. I don't know who's all talking about this. I really don't care, but I'm talking about it this morning. Why can't we push past the pain? Why is it that the betrayal becomes so much that we cannot sit there and be like, you know what? I got to push away from this. Folks, we all sit there and talk about, I pray, I do this. But guess what? How can you pray and still hold on to anger and resentment? I'm going to ask you that question. How can you sit up there and pray, beg, whatever it is that you do to God, source, and universe? I'm going to use God. Why is it that you pray to God, Jesus, whoever you pray to, you still hold on to resentment and pain? Why is it you can't forgive the person? They have moved on. And that's the number one thing that I see a lot. Folks will always say, a narc can't change. Why? So you telling me the guy that just spent 30 years in prison might have shot up 3 people and he in prison. You telling me he can't come out and be a reverend? You telling me he cannot be a preacher? You telling me he cannot change his life? Folks, I would tell you, you a new fool. You know why? I've seen them. I've seen men come out of being incarcerated and are model citizens, helping communities out, got businesses, beautiful families. So you telling me nobody can change. You the one that can't change because you the one still holding the anger. Let it go. If your moms did you wrong, let it go. Your dad did you wrong, sister, let it go. Folks, I'm still going through it too. I'm still learning how to forgive my dad. I'm still learning how to forgive my mom. Childhood traumas. Yes, I'm still learning how to do that. And I'm still learning how to forgive me for the dumb stuff I did to women. The lying, the manipulating, all that I did to women. I was sitting down having a conversation with my daughter just yesterday. And she would tell you, I still hold a lot of pain inside of me for what I've done to women. So folks, I'm trying to tell you, we go together, we grow together, we all going through it, but why can't we push past the pain? Oh, I got a story for you. I'm going to tell you a story that just straight shook me off of my foundation. On this one beautiful, beautiful, beautiful queen in the spiritual community, nothing but knowledge, still was holding on to anger and resentment of an ex or a child's father 21 years later. Folks, you holding on to something like that 21 years later? How? And I'm going to tell this story. But at the end of the day, 9 times, let me ask this question. Why do we want to have that person hurt just like we want them to feel the pain we went through? Why is it that we want to seek justice? Some of us will sit up here and fake the funk in thinking that we do not want that person to feel any pain, but deep down inside, maybe because narcissistic abuse causes brain damage. Yes, it does. The scientific terminology, PTSD. But PTSD is treatable. Folks, nothing is permanent. You can't sit down there and tell me nothing is permanent. And narcissistic, whether it's mental or physical abuse, is going to cause some sort of damage. But folks, I'm trying to tell you right now, this body, what we in right now, this body can heal itself. We make the choice not to want to heal. We make the choice not to want to heal. Yes, yeah, PTSD. I see you there, doll. I see you. We make that conscious choice. But yes, you go to a clinician, they gonna tell you got PTSD. I had a dear friend of mine many moons ago, went through a relationship, had a marriage, totally bad marriage, and she was diagnosed with PTSD. PTSD is not permanent. I'm telling you it's not permanent. It is very treatable. It is treatable, whether you go on Western medicine, Eastern medicine, or you just downright holistic with it. I promise you it is. But we'll sit down and PTSD is treatable, but it can't be cured. Anything can be cured. Hey, 44, hey, anything can be cured. I'm sorry, I can't believe you on that one. I roll again. Anything can be cured. And I'm telling you why it can be cured. Because there's 3 portals to the soul. What you see, read, what you hear, and what you eat. Yes, let me know how. It's very easy, folks. Folks, look, when you start taking a holistic approach to healing, you can go sit down with a therapist all day, and I will not take nothing away from therapists. There's some excellent ones out there. But when you sit there and you make that decision, I do not want to feel like this no more. Now we starting. How many of you take the time? Hey, what's up, dog? Rise and shine. How many of you take the time to write down your pain? How many of you sit down and write down the whole thing of what happened? Folks, when you write something down, you already starting the process. No one wants to journal what happened. No one wants to journal what happened. When you start journaling, you allow those emotions to come up. You cannot get me in this lifetime, in this universe, as I sit here today, and tell me nothing is not curable. It is very curable. You know what the issue is? We hold on to it. Treatment makes manageable. It's not a cure. Can't believe you. Can't believe you. Can't believe you. And let me tell you why. I'm diagnosed with PTSD 44. I'm diagnosed with PTSD from my military days. And guess what? I don't look it. And believe you me, when I came on my spiritual journey, and folks, my spiritual journey doesn't consist of me going to church. I don't go to church. No, I don't. But I'm talking to the source. If you tell me God can't cure me, we got a problem. So folks, don't sit there. I'm diagnosed with PTSD from the military days, as I also do believe everything is curable. Yes, indeed. I don't want to mess up your name, my brother. That near voice, hey, I see you, big bro. I see you. I see you. Hey, you need to tap in. You need to tap in. But folks, you can't sit down there and tell me that nothing's not curable because you are being treated. I'm being treated by God, the universe source in it. That's what I'm being treated by. Come on, folks. Y'all sitting down there with your blinders on. Sit down there and start talking to God. Start meditating. Start going internal. What's wrong with that? We'll sit down there and we'll find an excuse on why something can't be done. Stop giving excuses. Poetry heals all. I see you, yes indeed. According to your faith, if you don't believe he healed, he won't be healed. Yes indeed, stay with him. Come on, folks, y'all got to get that out y'all head that nothing can be cured. That's like saying nothing won't change. You stuck in your own prison. There's no prison. There's nothing stopping you from limitless knowledge. There's nothing stopping you from limitless healing. Nothing. You stop you. You get on here and you start hearing people, well, this ain't curable, this ain't treatable. A narc won't change. That person won't change. You sit in a box and you follow the herd mentality. Folks, start asking the questions. Start doing the research. Well, what's this book I'm reading? Man, I'm gonna minimize my doggone screen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get out of this screen right here. I want to get to my screen in this book that I'm reading. It's right here. Folks, you ever read the book Becoming Supernatural by Dr. I can't remember his name. Becoming Supernatural. Folks, stop sitting there in a box. Stop sitting in a box. Type 1 diabetes can't be cured. Yes, it can. Folks, let me tell you something. Stop sitting there thinking that this stuff cannot be healed. We sit down here and we think nothing can be healed. And I'm going to get on this real quick. All you have to do is learn how to let the body take over. In other words, fasting. Fasting allows the body to take over. I'm not telling you to fast. Got to put it out here for the TikTok police. Everything that I'm saying, purely entertainment, for the TikTok police. Proven fact. If you get on here and you start looking up cures, you got to go in the rabbit hole to find it. Cancer can be cured. Diabetes, I don't care what type, can be cured. Herpes, all of them. Folks, get out of your box. You live in a box and the box has no walls. Think about it. Your box that you live in has no wall. People are born with type 1 diabetes. Oh, come on, folks. You know, no. You know what? I can't even talk about it because they're going to shut this live down. People, let me tell you something. When you start a healing journey, spiritual journey, whatever your health journey is, stop sitting there thinking that because you're born with something that is permanent. It is not. It is not. I promise you on that one. All you have to do is let the body kick in and let the body heal itself. Meaning, I said it. Back in the biblical days, you hear about them talking about fasting. You right? You hear about it? Hint, hint, hint. I can't tell you to go fast. I am not a clinician. But I'm telling you what I know. All right? Folks, let's get out of our box thinking that something is always permanent. Your mom not permanent, your dad not permanent. They're going to die. You're going to die. Nothing is permanent. Stop sitting here thinking that everything's permanent, folks. I don't mind having the conversation, but I know I cannot have the conversation. I went from 211 pounds, 122. I don't want any blood pressure, diabetes. Thank you. Folks, I'm trying to tell you, if you sit down there and you just got, oh my God. You know what? I can't even really go deep down in time. Muscular dystrophy can be cured. Muscular dystrophy can be cured. You know what? Let me and you talk about this. Follow me, and me and you will have this conversation. Let's have that conversation, all right? 444. Follow me, hit me up, and let me and you have that conversation. Because I'm going to take that conversation on a spiritual matter, a very serious spiritual matter. And I'm going to throw the books at you that you can go look at and you can read yourself, okay? Because I can't talk about it right here because TikTok and the police will shut this live down. They will shut it down. I don't have it anymore. It's gone. Yes, indeed. Now, folks, you can knock it. Hey, 44, do me a favor, big bro. Whoever you are, hit me up in the DMs about medical stuff. If you want to do it here, I'm not going to acknowledge it here because I can't talk. They're going to shut my live down. I'm being very, very honest with you. They're going to shut my live down, and I don't. Dollar B, that's not. Yeah, just hit me up just hit me up. I promise you, I'm going to get right back to you. We're going to have that spiritual conversation. Right now, I'm trying to keep this to why we keep pushing the pain to the sidelines. I don't want to block nobody, dog. I don't want to block anybody. But I'm saying this, people, point blank. We have to get out of our box. I have viewpoints on all types of ailments that we come into this lifetime with, right? I do have a lot of viewpoints, and there's a lot of stuff I have read. But I will tell you that period, point blank, I can't have that conversation right here. I have to have it. Hit me up. I promise you I'll have that conversation with you because I'm telling you what I know. I ain't telling you what I heard. Because I can tell you the spiritual significance of you being born with these type of diseases. I can tell you the spiritual significance of Alzheimer's, being born with no arms, reincarnating here. I can tell you all of that, but not right in this segment. I won't talk about it in this segment. You don't have to. You don't have to live since you won't live whether live. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But folks, why can't we push past the pain? Why do we feel it needs to be some sort of justice done to a person? Why? Why do we feel that it's supposed to be some sort of justice done to someone that hurt you? For those of you that you give reverence to Jesus, who was Jesus betrayed by? Was that Judas? Did Jesus seek justice against Judas? Did he? No, he forgave him. If anybody on this live right now can say, yeah, he got justice against Judas, please let me know. I just want to go read that and find it myself. Because I've always known that Jesus forgave him for Judas ratting him out. So tell me, we all sit down here and talk about, man, the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Okay, well, why can't you forgive? What makes you so different that you can't forgive, but who you give reverence to forgives? Riddle me that. We get rid of them, we wouldn't have child after child being molested. Why would you want to get rid of a narcissist? Do you know the spiritual nature of a narcissist, Daisy Dukes? You know what I'm saying? And then you're talking about child after child being molested. Folks, I'm going to say this. From my research, a lot of your molestation happened in the family member. So you saying get rid of your family member because the baby is not born a narcissist. They come into a narcissist family. And this is something that I'm going to say this very respectfully and very heartfelt. Some people are molested by family members that they're very close to, and there's nothing done to the person. And they have to live with that and they hold that for the rest of their life. So at the end of the day, are you saying you want to get rid of your family members? Folks, no, he wasn't born in our family. He was married to a relative, but he was born into a family. Am I right? He was born into a family, but at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to call you out, at the end of the day, he was born into a family. So at the end of the day, what we're saying is we want somebody to be ousted out of this world. So at the end of the day, are we saying that we are God, judge, jury, universe, source, entity to start taking people out? Folks, we don't do that. We cannot sit down here and say that we holier than thou and all of that stuff, but we want some sort of retribution like this. You cannot say that because guess what the problem is? It's not them, it's you. If we all sitting down here and we all talking about, man, I'm ascending, I'm elevating, I'm this and that, but you hold that deep down, you need to go work on your shadow. That was Friday's live, and I'll do it again. Because we all have a shadow side to ourselves, a dark side. Anytime that we wish harm on someone else, that is an issue. Anytime we sit down there and we wish certain things, that is an issue, folks. Never, never, ever put that out in the atmosphere. Never put that out in the universe. Never even thinking that if we let them take over, we'll all be destroyed. You know what? I'll let you deal with the universe on that one. And I'll let you deal with that one. But folks, ooh, boy, that's a good one. Hey, Daisy, I wish you very well on that one. But that mindset is not where you want to be. But I got it. That's what we're taught. That's the way we think. That's what goes on. And that's all that I got it. If we don't have justice, we would have. So who's the justice? Is man-made justice, God justice? We'll follow man-made law, but we won't follow God's laws. But folks, let me get back to talking about. Hey, I appreciate it. Keep them coming, Dave. Keep them coming. Everybody keep them coming. Why do we feel we can't push past the pain? And when we can't push past the pain, we feel like we lost time. Is time ever wasted? I've heard that terminology 1,000 times. Is time ever wasted? God, look. Okay, I got you. Is time ever wasted? Folks, time is never wasted. Time is never wasted. Here's the thing. We'll sit up there and say, I wasted my time with this person, but you never pick up the lesson. And as you go from relationship to relationship to relationship, you keep getting triggered. And as you keep getting those triggers, guess what happened? That's a hint and a half of your tailbone that you the common denominator. Go heal. Heal, folks. And that's what we don't do. Some of y'all questions are very spiritual, and I can answer them spiritually, but right now I'm trying to teeter right, not get so deep into the spiritual aspects of it. And I'm not trying to blow you off, but if you definitely hit me that question, you follow me, you hit me that question, I'm going to answer you. I promise you that. But why do we feel that we have time wasted? Is time ever wasted? Folks, I'm going to tell that story right quick. Very, very beautiful queen. Very, very beautiful queen. Very knowledgeable in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world, what we doing. We in a conversation. She has a son that's going to graduate from the military, one of the military academies, right? Because I'm not going to divulge everything, because if she tap into this, she might say, okay, I hear you talking about me. But I'm going to talk about it. Now, they all supposed to go. She's supposed to go. The baby's father, the son's father, I'm going to say son, I'm going to narrow down. The son's father's supposed to go in that part of the family, right? Now, her and the baby father had a lot of indifferences when they were dating. They had rough patch. But she was holding on to that this father was going to do the son wrong, that this father was taking the child's money. She had all these notions that the father was doing all these wrong things to this boy, and just bringing it up. And I asked her, I said, well, has he ever did anything wrong to his son? She's like, no. Has he ever taken money from his son? No. And y'all together how many years ago? 21 years ago. And I said, you still holding on to that kind of anger that long? And she looked at me, she's like, yeah. Why do we hold on to stuff that long? Why can't we push past the pain? That's 21 years. And you practice spirituality. Folks, I'm not saying that anybody that starts studying spirituality is exempt from the common nature of who we are as human beings. But that one thing hit me in my head is, why can't we just sit back and say, all right, why am I being triggered about something like that? And believe you me and this person, we know each other very well. They still hold things against me from way back when. And I'm like, wait a minute. So why are we still holding on to things and we can't push forward? Knowing that our best life is ahead. Don't want to do the work, probably heal. Yes, indeed, Glam Goddess. Yes, indeed. Folks, I'm going to tell you, we are more afraid of ourselves than we're afraid of anybody else. We do not want to be honest to ourselves. We don't want to be transparent with ourselves. We will sit down there and we will take a narrative and we will believe it. That's it, period, point blank. And believe you me, I will suffer through some of that stuff too, because I will see stuff like the comments I'm seeing right now. I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, I don't. But I have to also have empathy, and I also have to have grace with everybody, because I'm like, okay, they don't know what you know. And folks, you all have access to what I know. It ain't like people that you hear like, I think his name is Dr. Dispenza that wrote the book of Becoming Supernatural. I can't say his name. I probably tore it up. But we all have access to the information. But you think social media, you think anything is just going to push it out there for you to become smarter, to become a sovereign being? It's not going to happen. People, pay attention. If you get on any social media network right now, and I'm not trying to down social media at all, but I'm saying because I use social media. But what is the things that's getting pushed out the most? It's something that always keeps you in a fear base. It's always something keeping you just preoccupied from seeing what's going on. And then the truth, because the truth is always given to you, is masked. So they cannot sit there and say, we're not giving you the truth. They give you the truth. It's not masked. But what do you see? You can't read between the lines because you're stuck in the bold print. Don't want to do the, See what I'm saying, folks? At the end of the day, read between the lines. Read the small print because it's given to you right there. It's given to you right there. Even when you go to church and you giving reverence to God and all of that, and it's in the Bible, whatever it is, who was the Bible written by? How many different translations of the Bible is there? You can all say, well, God wrote the Bible. He inspired X, Y, Z. Okay, how many times have the Bible been rewritten from the original text? Pay attention. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. So, folks, at the end of the day, I'm coming right back to my topic. Why do we hold on to things when we should not be holding on to things? Why can't we go with the natural flow? Do we ever see a tree holding on to leaves? I'm going to hold on to this leaf because I want this leaf to fall. No. Come fall and winter, them leaves are gone. Because guess what? The tree knows I'm getting some brand new ones in spring. So if you're going to sit there and keep those painful thoughts in your head and you stay in your head, clear your computer. Change your algorithm. If you're unwilling to change your algorithm, you're going to stay in pain. You suffer with the high blood pressure. If you don't start asking the necessary questions, why? And that's all you got to do. Question everything. What I'm telling you right now, don't take this for face value. Go research it. Nothing can be cured. Go research it. Oh, it's there. It's there. It's right there. But we don't do that. We don't want to pick up the book that says, if you eat raw vegetables for 1 whole year, 2 whole years, you can cure X, Y, Z. We don't want to do that. Why do you think some of these social media channels, and I'm not going to name none, will shut you down if you speak on certain things? Again, I come back to us again. Why is it that we hold on to the pain? Do we see pain being broadcasted in social media? I'm going to tell you what's being broadcast out there. If I can keep a man and a woman separate, what do you think happens? Folks, 27-year veteran in the military. What's one of the key things when we go to combat? Divide and conquer. And I'm not trying to get off beat because I'm going to get back on this. So if I can divide you, I can conquer you. We live in a duality society. 2, division. If I can have masculinity and I can say, okay, we got toxic masculinity. Is there such a thing? Somebody, yeah, we do. No, we don't. Go do your research. Do we have toxic femininity, feminine or whatever? No, we don't. But all you have to do is go look it up. But we don't look it up. We take everything right there. Oh, they said that, that's it. And that's it, cut dry. You won't read the small print. So again, why do we sit down here and we feel we cannot push past the pain? Or if we're not trying to push past the pain, why is it we give attention to it? Because I'm going to tell you, whatever you focus on, whatever you give attention to, that's where your energy goes. And some of us on here know the principle, energy, vibration, frequency. So why would you stay on the frequency of pain? Why would you keep the low vibration of pain? And why would you give your energy to that pain? That's what I'm telling you. And this is what you manifest in the present moment. When you think this way or something manifests in your life until you tap in and you start doing the healing work. And yes, you do have, if you're a person that likes to follow superstars, movie stars, athletes and all that, some of them, if you pay attention, they're telling you how to tap in. Will Smith, pay attention. He talked, a lot of them talking. There's books out there that's on this. These ain't gonna be the books that's the most popular one that you want to read or the ones that that you see right here. All you got to do, I'm going to be real. If you want to manifest knowledge, sit down by yourself, ask God. God, I want all the knowledge. When I came on this journey, healing journey, spiritual journey, every journey I came on starting January 2022, I asked ask for the knowledge. I want to know. I want to know back then. Because guess what? If I didn't go through what I went through back then, I couldn't sit down here and talk to you right now. I can't read no books on what I know. I'm telling you. And yes, this is one thing that's positive. Everything you seek is within you. Something will bring it out. Your ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, they are working with you 24/7. They're giving it to you when you slow down enough, when you be quiet enough to receive it. But if you start, and I'm not telling you don't look at social media, because guess what? When you know how to work the algorithm gonna give you what you need. It's gonna give you what you need if you know how to work the algorithm. But if you sit there day in and day out and you want to look at the food videos, the fight videos, the dancing videos, the big booty videos, the big boulder shoulder six-pack ab videos, that's what you're going to get. So it's what you feed up here. If you don't know how to upgrade your computer going to stay on old systems, period, point blank. Learn how to change the system. If you don't want to always eyeball pain, change it. I said there a couple lives ago, the power of I am. Is anybody walking around here saying, I am negative, I am painful? I don't think there's nobody walking around sitting there saying, putting that out in the universe that you that person. But your aura, your energy field is projecting it out. Pay attention. Pay attention. Your aura, your energy field is projecting it. If you're going from bed to bed to bed trying to cover up the pain of the narcissistic relationship, guess what you just took on? You took on all those energy cords from your partners, their traumas, their issues. I know. I was that guy. So I'm here to tell you, we have to learn to push past the pain. That's what we're afraid of. That keeps us with that person. That keeps us locked in. And that's the one thing I'm going to tell you. If you are trying to grow, I don't care, in whatever growth you're trying to do, you have to learn to push past certain things. And if you don't know how to push past the pain, then what? And you can't blame yourself for what somebody else did you. You can't blame yourself. Everything that happened to you was meant to happen to you. And I know it's going to sound kind of bad, but if you're in a relationship with somebody, male or female, 99% of the time, it's a man that might hit a woman. I'm not saying that's deserving. But what I am saying is it happened for a reason. That's to make you stronger. Walk away. Get out of there. Because it's only going to get worse. Folks, I'm not trying to get a popularity contest going on. We're going to listen to Leo because Leo talking about narcissistic men and how he dog out women. Or narcissistic women and how they dog out men. I'm telling you point blank, folks. If you sit down there and you don't know how to heal, you'll never push past the pain that you keep for how many years. Oh, I remember how this person treated me bad. Oh, it was a lesson in that. Sometimes you got to connect the dots backwards to see where you at right now. Never thought about that. Connect the dots backwards and you see where you at. As above, so below. As within, so without. So what is your internal state saying? I don't care how good you look out here. What is your internal state saying? Is your internal state ugly? You smiling, you laughing and joking, but you all hateful, ugly, and everything else inside. And we can say, yes, that's the narcissist. Yeah, but let me make this a little bit spiritual. I'm going to hit y'all up on something real quick. And I know some people ain't going to agree with me, but it is what it is. Some of you have heard of soul contracts. If you have heard of a soul contract, don't you think for a second, the most rottenest, dirtiest person that did you wrong, you signed a soul contract with that person. Y'all may have flip roles in this lifetime because the soul needs this to evolve. Pay attention. But what do? You bypass it. You don't want it. You want to sit there and anger and hurt and all of that. You want to sit down there and say, well, nothing can be changed because you gave up on you. And that's what happens to 99.9% of us. We give up on ourselves versus sitting there saying, you know what? This happened to me for a reason. What am I supposed to learn from it? Folks, this didn't just happen when I came on this journey. It was a rough journey on the healing. Our healing journey for me was rough, very rough. You talking to a man who was rolling 3, 4, 5 women deep to just saying, I don't want no women around me. A man that went on multiple semen retention journeys. Multiples. Because I want to tap in around me. A man that went on multiple semen retention journeys. Multiples. Because I want to tap in. I want to know what's going on. I'm very nosy. Hey, universe, what's going on today? That's where my nosiness is at. What is going on? Ancestors, spirit guides, help a brother. HBO special, help a brother out. But we don't do that. We can all say we go to church 3, 4, 5 days out of the week, and you can listen to that man, whoever it is, give you the word. And you listening, and you listening, and you listening. You can listen to it in your car. You can listen to it 24/7. You can be the person that have the best prayers ever. People listen to your prayers like, oh, and they jumping around and all that. What do they have inside of them? And some of you are already seeing some of these scandals. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Some of these scandals, some of these people didn't have. No one's perfect. No one's perfect. We all human. We are all spiritual beings having this human experience. Our souls are here to evolve. That's why today I'm asking why we can't push past the pain. We can. It's forgiveness taught in the household. Did your mom, your dad sit you down as a child? You need to learn to forgive. Let me teach you how to forgive. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put this on the line. No one that's listening to my voice or can hear this or when I push this live out can say my mom, my dad, or anybody, and it might be, I'm just putting it out there, was not taught how to forgive. I was never taught how to forgive. I'm putting me out there. I was never taught how to forgive anybody. That's why sometimes I'm so up here, I'm building scenarios about stuff that ain't even happened. And I had to learn through my readings and all of that. You need to not build scenarios that has never happened. And that's what we do sometimes. We build a scenario on something that never happened. Man, I know when I go to work, man, I know it's going to be a bad day. You building a scenario. Why don't you put out something positive? Man, when I go to work, we're going to be off the chain, having a party, having a good time. Watch it manifest. Some of us keep all this pain locked inside and we'll say, I'm healed. You're not healed if you're still getting triggered. You're not healed if you're still getting triggered. If that narcissist person called you up right now today, said, I need $5. I'm down on my luck. It's the end. I just can't see it no more. And you know they will not call and ask for that. What you gonna do? I ain't giving it to you because I remember when you scuffed me up 5, 3, how many years ago? Does that make you a good person? You might say that, well, because we harbor this kind of pain inside of us. It makes us angry. And then I go back to your Bible. Would Jesus tell Judas no, he wasn't going to help? No. So why we sit up here and do it? Why we sit up here and we fake the funk trying to be holier than thou when we're not? Because we hold the pain of the narcissist or anyone that did us dirt. And we don't know how to let it go. We want to hold on to it like a badge of honor. We want to walk around here mad. And then when you go sit in front of somebody that you're about to date or whatever, now you want to put all this on them. I need a man that's going to be this. I need a woman that's going to be this. I need a man that's going to be doing this. I need a woman that's going to be doing that. Why? I just asked the question, why? When you start doing the work and the work is ugly, the work is ongoing, you might be the one that's tagged to heal generational. You hear me? Generational wounds, not just yours. Let's stop being selfish. If I'm going to tell you be selfish, selfishly love yourself. When your cup is overflowing, give the rest. I got it because you can't pour from an empty cup. I'm learning this now. Leo, you can't pour from an empty cup. But I promise you, some of us pour from that dry cup and we stay in that pain. We stay in that pain, and that pain makes us bitter. And I don't care how much you stay away from a man or a woman, it will never go. You can't run from you. You will always be front and center 24/7. You're going to see you when you look in the mirror. You're going to see you when you look in that rear view mirror. Everything is you. You can't run from you. Stop sitting down there thinking that, well, I'm just going to dress me up a little bit different. Your outside ain't going to change your inside. Ain't no amount of money, properties, or whatever you got, you can't run from you. The true you, the soul essence of you, until you decide to say, you know what? I went through that painful period. What did it teach me? How can I tell, are you using again? Are you using again? I don't even know who you are. But at the end of the day, why are you sitting down there and you staying in the pain? Get out of the pain essence, folks. Start the healing process. If you've been with that narcissist or you still with a narcissist, ask yourself one reason. Ask yourself one question. Why are you still with them? And if you're hoping that they're going to change, you can't change them. They have to change themselves. Get your respect back. And we don't have to do that. You know that. Default nickname. Young guy. But at the end of the day, while we sit down here and we stay in the pain, all you have to do is start the work. Start healing. Start the process. When you start the healing process, you let it go. You become a lighter version. A lighter version. When you push past the pain, on the other side, everything is better. A whole lot better. I'm telling you, I walked the walk, folks. And when I had to let go of all that pain, I could see the better version of me coming out. The better version. Folks, I'm only telling you this from being transparent. I see it, I walked it, I live it all day long. And I'm telling you, if I can sit down there and go from a man who's running the streets, drinking, partying, misusing women, being a manipulative narcissist, to who you see right here today, a very transparent person on a healing, health, whatever kind of, all them journeys that I'm on, that I'm telling you, it's possible. It's very possible. And folks, if you ever decide you want to go into my link, you want to hit my link tree, you will see. Yes, this guy, he's an author. I wrote books to help people. Those are books that you're going to see. There is a website in there, a healing website, right? I have a coaching website where I help people. At the end of the day, anybody can change. It's when they want to change. Hey, folks, I appreciate y'all jumping on here this morning. I kind of didn't get everything that I wanted to push through, but I definitely do appreciate y'all taking time on this beautiful day, folks, for jumping on in here with me, because I got to sign off right quick. I got to get in these woods, get my walk on and everything, and put out some good old information, folks. I know y'all going to have a great day today. But, folks, end state is this. Look, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Hit that link tree up. I got products on there that's going to help you. I got stuff on there that's going to help you. You want to do a session, you want to do a one-on-one, you want to send me an email, I'm going to definitely reply back to you. That's called integralstrategies.com. I'm going to definitely reach out to you, right? Folks, don't walk around in the pain. We are all spiritual beings. We are all fractals of the all. We're all branches of the same tree. And we all are here to love one another and help one another and make each other's lives better. Hey, folks, look, y'all gonna have a great day today. I'm gonna start doing this 5 days a week, because tomorrow, my Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm gonna start dedicating that towards motivation, my motivation side. These are my spiritual side, kind of like, well, my narcissistic side stuff on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. My Tuesday and Thursday, I'm gonna start dedicating those to motivation, because I love motivating people, folks. Y'all have a great day today. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow on Motivating Tuesday. Have a good one.